welcome you to the Royal London Theatre here in London, England, for our main event of the evening.
It's a sort of fight that boxing fans have dreamed about and debated for decades.
We're scheduled for 12. Here's round number 1.
Who would win if somehow you could get the 1970s world champ Smokin' Joe Frazier to fight the 1990s world champion Lennox Lewis? And now we know. Sort of.
Lennox Lewis is down, and he looks like he's in bad shape.
This was the latest virtual fight organised by the World Boxing Super Series using a computer game from 2011. The company normally fills arenas with big money fights all over the world, but the coronavirus pandemic has paused all that. So they're trying something new to entertain fans in lockdown.
Joe Frazier's your winner by knockout.
Co-founder and promoter for the company, Cale Sauerland, can't believe how successful the experiment's been.
It's picked up almost 500,000 viewers in the first couple of events, and I think the interest is just growing, you know, and that is not just credit to let's say the quality of the content. It's at the moment it's the need for content and need to keep us entertained, and that's why, you know, we're going to still be boxing promoters after this pandemic has passed us, but at the moment we need to reinvent the wheel to keep people entertained.
Wheels are being reinvented all over the world across many different sports. Formula One streamed its first ever virtual Grand Prix with full pundit and commentary team and celebrity gamers behind the virtual wheels. For competitive gamers who've been in the industry a long time, it's an amusing turn of events.
We've had this eternal conflict of sports versus esports, and whether or not we're copying many things from the sports scene, like if we should, and how far should we go, how much should we compare ourselves. And now you see the sports world kind of taking a note out of the esports world, which I find kind of funny.
Johan Sundstein is known online as No Tail and tops the rankings as the most successful esports player of all time, netting almost $7 million so far in prize money for playing Dota 2.
Hurry to the fray.
Unlike many esports stars, the 26-year-old doesn't do much streaming. He prefers to compete rather than play games live, online and chat to fans. But with the coronavirus cancelling all of his events, he's having to adapt.
Yeah, tower's not even hitting. You see, you can't come back here.
With his huge profile, particularly in the East, Johan is bound to be a very popular streamer. But the Dane can't wait to get back out there, competing for real-life crowds.
It was such a bitter thing that they cancelled our major tournament, because I personally had an extended break from last year's international, and I hadn't competed in 6 months. So I was really, really excited to get to this one. It's just got taken away from me right in front of my nose, right? Very excited. Definitely, this is my one addiction is competition.
The gaming companies are having to adapt too. Already, big prize purse events are being set up to make the most of the mass lockdown. Game streaming and playing in general is also seeing an explosion in popularity. Platforms like Twitch and Steam are seeing record numbers of people playing and chatting online.
I don't like it. I really don't like it.
Amy Bayliss, known by her fans as Bamey Leaf, streams 4 days a week on Twitch and says she's noticed a big uptick.
I think there's a lot of people turn into streamers and live content right now because everyone is stuck at their homes, they're bored, everyone's feeling isolated. And if you can turn to Twitch, there's a whole community of people there where you can go and feel less alone and talk to people and turn your mind off from how isolated you might be in real life.
Oh, I see bats downstairs. They aren't moving though. Is it because it's daytime?
With the boom in gaming comes concerns from some quarters about how much bandwidth is being used and whether or not it's putting a strain on internet networks. Gaming is relatively light on internet usage, but downloading large games themselves can be very bandwidth heavy. To combat this, PlayStation recently restricted download speeds across Europe. Other companies like Twitch have also reduced the quality of streams in order to help internet service providers cope. Clearly, the gaming industry is working hard to ride the wave of popularity whilst minimising the impact it's having. Joe Tidy, BBC News.